Alright, we're back with another video. Welcome back. As you can see, Scott's machine is back with us this weekend. And if you caught our last Ivy video or so, he blew up the diff again. What is that, the third or fourth?
It's the third time the diff has failed me.
Yeah, so if you've seen the title of the video, we're going to make it bulletproof. And this is his existing diff. The one that we think is pretty much junk is this gear. Where is this? So this gear's in here like that, and it shears the teeth off.
Just like that one.
Just like this one. And we think that's what's wrong with it. But Scott made a purchase on kind of a junk, I wouldn't say junk diff, but a diff that had a bunch of problems with it, just like this. Same thing happened to this one. And there's another gear right here that also has the teeth chunked off of it. This goes on here, the ring gear goes on there. So we're going to tear this apart. We'll let you see what that looks like, and then we're pretty much going to weld this hunk of steel. We're going to make his diff a spool. We're going to get rid of all these gears, all the spider gears, the clutch pack. We're getting rid of it all, and we're going to weld it solid. So we'll take you through that process, but for now we're going to tear into here and see what's wrong with his diff again.
Dun, dun, dun.
I do also want to mention that when someone says that they're going to weld this diff and make it a spool, we do not mean that we're going to weld the spider gears. That's not the proper way to weld a smart lock. It'll just end up breaking. We've seen people weld the spider gears before, and it didn't last. So we know of a way to do this to where it's going to be pretty much bulletproof, and that's what we're going to show you today. So welding the spider gears is not an option for us, because that leaves room for error. We're gonna do it to, I wouldn't say the professional way, but the way that it should be done. Here we have, let's see if I could poke out here. Scott brought his toy hauler down for the weekend. If you're not familiar with that, he's about an hour and a half or so away.
Oh, there's that covers off.
Okay, so it doesn't look, oh
yeah, there's pieces of
I see some,
there's teeth everywhere. Uh-oh. Oh no, I thought that was the ring gear teeth, but it's not.
I was gonna say, I do. Well, look at all those metal shards in there.
Yeah, it's...
Oh, let's see.
Alright.
It's hurt. It's hurt real bad. So, the first time you broke it, you broke the clutch pack and this gear.
And that...
On Beer Can Alley.
I believe the clutch pack was broke, but I don't think I broke that gear.
Okay. And the clutch pack was cracked, right?
Yes, the clutch pack was cracked. It was...
And then the second time at Tri-County, you smoked his gear.
The driver's side, yep. Demolished it.
And this is the driver's side again, and we think is
I'm
bad.
almost positive that's what's wrong. I would bet good money that that's what's wrong.
Alright, we're gonna get this stuff tore apart here. There's no sense in boring you guys for a couple minutes while we try to get this bearing and stuff off, so we'll show you once we get this apart.
Alright, so there's that. Oh yeah, it's destructed. You can see in there. There's no teeth on it.
Oh yeah, I don't think you can really see on camera,
Ouch. There's lots of little shards in there, man. They just all went in my finger. Watch.
but oh yeah.
Yeah, they're everywhere.
Oh wow.
Yep. So by us welding that, those teeth no longer are being used because it's a part of the carrier.
Yeah, so when you weld this, you don't need to have good teeth on here because the teeth, there's no more spider gears for these teeth. We're going to pull the spider gears out, and I think I mentioned earlier we're going to make it a spool. So these, all you need is
Good splines.
Yeah, good splines in here, because that's where the axles spline into. There's one there and one here. We're basically going to run some. We're going to have this in here. We're going to run some beads of weld around this, and then this one over here, and then these two bolt together. So.
Yep. There's just
Lots of
pieces
lots of
everywhere.
foul play happening. Oh yeah, that just spins, which is not supposed to. It's supposed to spin. Oh. Let's see if I can see. This is supposed to spin the spider gears, and there are no teeth on there to do that. Wonder if this side good? Can you spin that side?
This side should be good. Yeah.
Yeah, so that side is good. So that's what two times you got the driver's side.
And this one is the driver's.
And
I
well,
guess
this
we
one's
got both
actually
sides.
this is a one we got off a buddy of ours. He did the same thing, but he took both sides out. Where Scott only took the driver's side.
Yeah, I've never broken the passenger side gear. But I did break the clutch pack, which is on the passenger side.
So maybe the clutch pack gives before that gear.
I don't know.
Or the clutch pack would slip before that gear would go too, I guess.
Maybe. That was that ditch in
Yeah.
on Beer Can Alley.
Yeah, and Tri-County.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a ditch on both of them.
This is the only time that I've broken a gear that I wasn't at a tremendous side load.
Yeah.
I mean, I was a little bit, but that was just too much for the tire to come up over, and the gear said nope.
That was if you've caught our Ivy video where he broke the diff. We're not sure if it was hurt before that or if that's where it happened, but that's where it
Well,
came
that
out.
gear definitely broke right there, but there was
yeah.
something going on with the clutch pack.
Yeah.
It needed adjusted or something. That's why I'm done with it.
Yeah. So
I'm over it.
we're gonna pull the good parts that are out of here. And he does already have a spare diff too with some good parts. So this pretty much the whole this side, all the clutch pack and everything, the spider gears are all good. So we're gonna take all that out of here.
Weird.
Yeah. Sorry about that. My camera just shut off for some reason. I have no idea why. But I was saying we're gonna pull all the good parts out of here, put it in there, and then he'll have a spare smart lock and a good welded solid spooled front end.
All right.
There it is. So that actuator goes through here,
And it moves this thing.
and then this puts pressure on the clutch pack.
But right here where the sparing is.
And what part did you break last time? Inside of that?
Yeah, I'll show you here once I pull this off. This thing right here was cracked in like 5 different places, all through here. And this one is perfectly fine.
That's good.
So it must have been the pressure on the clutch pack that wasn't working right.
Yeah, because we were thinking that might have been messed up too.
Yeah.
Alright, we're back. We got everything cleaned up. Got the case all cleaned up. Got all the little metal shards out of here.
There we go.
You can see the case took a little hit, but that's not going to affect anything. Everything that we need is in good shape. This one center bearing. This bearing here on the side cover. So I wanted to show you a little bit. So the actuator comes through the outside of this case and has this little gear on there. And it turns this.
It rotates this, and then the spring leaves pressure on it. I don't know if you guys can see the spring, but it's screwed into here so that when it turns it like this, that spring's got pressure on it. So then when it releases, the spring pressure brings it back.
Yeah, and it moves. You can see this has some grooves in it, and there's a high side and low side.
And then it rides on these little ball bearings right here.
Yeah, and those ball bearings have a high side and a low side. So when it turns, it raises and lowers and puts pressure on the clutch pack. Let's see if I can get.
I gotta get it lined up with the ball bearings.
Yeah.
Which it's not right now.
Oh, this one here. There you go.
There.
Okay. Go ahead and turn it. I'll see if I can catch it moving.
Can you see it moving?
A little bit, yeah. Yeah, you can see it. It raises.
If you look right here, see it's flush right now, and then when it moves,
yeah.
And there is a bearing that also goes right there.
Yeah, and that rides on that clutch pack. That is right there.
And it rides. Right on that, like so.
Yep, and then
so when this thing moves,
yeah,
I don't know if you guys can see it or not.
Yeah, it's hard to see it.
Yeah,
a little bit.
You can see the whole clutch pack move.
Yeah, you can see it.
That's how it locks it in.
And then this is splined inside and outside
to the carrier.
To the carrier, which is splined on the inside and the outside.
So it's always spinning with the differential.
Yes.
That's why you can lock it in while you're moving, you know, go through the different modes while you're in four-wheel drive, because it's always splined together.
Yeah, so now that we have the parts that we don't need out, we've stripped everything off of this differential except for the two side cases, this case, outer bearing, inner bearing. That's all we've kept from the diff. That's all you need to complete this job. Side cover, two bearings, and then you have your carrier. So what you're going to do is we're going to take this carrier apart. So that will be, let me do this here. There's your carrier. There's your ring gear. So this, you're gonna notice that in this video that these gears are chewed apart. That doesn't matter because those gears mean nothing except for the inside splines. So what's going to happen is this gear that I just slid in and out of there is going to get welded to this ring gear. We're going to run a bead of weld around here and possibly around the inside if it's not going to hit anything. So then this will be one solid piece. Axle splines into here, welded to here, solid.
This side here,
then you have the carrier.
I'll pop this out real quick.
Okay, because we're going to get rid of the spider gears. You no longer need them.
That's the main pin that goes the whole way through, and then these pins here are like half pins.
That's similar to our Halo 30.
Is that how it works?
Yep, that's how that's set up. 2 half pins and a full pin.
Yeah, the full pin goes the whole way through, and then I'll just have to get it lined up. There we go. Punch that little pin through.
You can see there, 2 half pins.
2 half pins. You got the whole pin, and then this will all just fall out.
Maybe.
You got to get that. You got to get.
They're tight. That's a tight fit.
You got to pull that block out, and that's what the pins fit through, and then the spiders will just fall out.
There you go. And all these spider gears are good, so you can keep these as spare parts for your other diff.
These things are like bulletproof.
Yeah.
I don't know what they're made out of, but they're really, really good material. They should make these
not so much
out of those as well.
And you can see that.
Oh,
that's the good side. That's the bad side. I don't know how it did shear them all off.
No. Probably because it just quit spinning.
Yeah. Yeah, so you take this gear, weld it to this, and then you take this gear, and it goes in the carrier like so, and then you weld this to it, you know. Now this is a solid piece. That's a solid piece. And then the ring gear bolts. You take this ring gear, set it on here,
bolt it to there,
bolt it to here, and now you have
one solid piece.
Yeah, and it's a spool.
It's a spool, so it's not going to be fun to turn when you're on pavement or something.
Yeah, so the downfall to doing this is the front tires are going to be locked together one side to another. You won't be in 4-wheel drive until you hit the button. But the front tires, it's probably going to be a little bit harder to steer than it normally would.
Even in 2-wheel drive, the front tires have to spin the same speed because this is spooled together.
Yeah.
That's what happens with the back tire. Like, I don't know if you guys, you drive through the grass a little bit and the inside tire always drags.
Yeah.
That's why.
Yeah, it's basically the rear end spooled.
Right, the rear end is spooled.
Yeah, and that's basically what we're doing this. If you guys have seen the final drive gear on the Can-Am, that's basically what we're doing. Axle splines in one side, axle splines in the other side, and the center is just solid. So we're making, the axle will spline into there, and the axle will spline into here, and then these two are going to be bolted together. So it's going to be bulletproof.
Well, I hope so, because I'm tired of fixing it.
So we're going to clean the oils off of here. Get my little torch out. We'll heat them up a little bit to get everything burned off of them. And then we'll be back. We'll show you us welding them. And then we'll put it back in so you can get an idea of how it's going to be. But that's all you need. You need the case, the outer covers, the 2 bearings, carrier, and ring gear, 2 gears, and that's it. And the gears don't even matter because they're not going into your spider gears.
No, they're not touching anything.
No. So we removed a lot of rolling weight, a lot of friction.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's going to work out really good.
I hope so. That's the plan.
Yeah. So
tired of fixing it.
We'll be back. We're going to show you the way that we're going to weld this. We'll show you us welding it, and then we'll show you what it looks like. All right, we're back. We have the parts here. I used that little hand torch. I heated them up a little bit to get any of the impurities out of them. Just to heat it up to get a little bit better weld. We're going to weld this one first, the splined one, into here. We're going to tack that. Okay, I'll put a tack on it and then I'm going to flip it.
Okay.
Now I'm gonna run a bead. You probably don't have to. You could probably just get away with welding out here, but we're gonna make it as strong as possible. And I'm gonna weld a bead around the inside of this. Okay, ready?
Yep.
While it's nice and hot, we're gonna beat around the top.
All right, you go for it.
That stack of dimes.
I'll tell you what, that looks pretty good, guys. You need anything welded?
Look.
Oh, did it burn you?
No, I'm probably gonna have a sunburn mark right where my knuckle is.
Nicely done, Jesse. I don't know if you guys can really see that in there, but that's a heck of a weld.
Okay, we're gonna take this outside to cool down. Alright, so here's the next one we're gonna weld. It's this gear into the ring gear. Both gears face the same way. We're gonna run a bead of weld around here.
All right, guys.
Okay, we're back in action. We've let this cool down. Still warm. I mean, it's still warm to the touch, but there's the carrier that we welded. That gear. And then we slid the carrier into the ring gear, which has this welded to it. So now they're one piece. We're gonna throw some bolts in the top here. We just cleaned the bolts off with the wire wheel here to get the old Loctite off of them. So we're gonna throw some red Loctite on these, thread these in there so there's no chance of them backing out. And then this will drop right down into here. Maybe. Oh, it's probably hitting the other side, huh? Yeah. There. And that is
A spool.
a spool. 100% lock, no questions about it. And then it's in your, obviously your drive shaft comes up here. You click it into 4-wheel drive. It turns everything. Axle here, welded. Axle here, welded. And that's how you do it. No clutch pack, no gears. I mean, you really don't even need the actuator, but I think the actuator plugs a hole.
It does.
Yeah, so there's a hole in the case right there that the actuator goes through. So you'll have to bolt the actuator back on, but that's it. This bearing goes on this side in this case here. That's what that side runs against. This side runs against that bearing. That's pretty slick. If you need one welded, get a hold of me. We'll get you the address. You can ship it here. We'll weld it for you, send it back. Charge you a couple bucks, of course. And all that money will go back into the channel. These together. These ones 17 also on this side.
Yes.
17 foot-pounds on this side, cover 2. And then we'll put the smart lock actuator back in. Really only need it to basically just cover up that hole.
Yeah, because it's not going to do anything.
It's right there. Has a little O-ring on it. It goes in that hole. And so by doing this, your smart lock is going to make some noises. It's not going to be happy because it's not sensing the smart lock stuff. Halo locker offers a like a plug and play kit that you can plug into your smart lock wiring, and it'll kill that. And that's for their Halo 30s. But you could use that wiring harness for this to tell a smart lock that it's all good and it doesn't need to. What's it do? Beep? It beeps at you. Yeah,
because it's not sensing the speed. It has a speed sensor on both sides. There's one on here that monitors the axle on this side. There's one here that monitors the axle on this side. Well, that's gone.
Yeah.
So it's going to be beeping like crazy.
Yeah. So
until I buy that.
Yeah, it's like $89.99 or something like that on Halo's website. It's Ox Off Road is Halo's website. You can buy one of them, plug it in here, and then if at some point he jumps up to the Halo 30, which I think that is your
that's my ultimate goal.
Ultimate goal. He'll already have that. So, but we're gonna get these torqued, and then we have a few pieces to put back together. We're replacing a tie rod end on that side. We replaced the bent bolt that he messed up while he rolled. Since we had it apart, we went ahead and did that. So once we get all this stuff together, we'll get it back together. We'll take it out and we'll see how it turns. See if it's miserable or...
It's going to be miserable on anything hard, like pavement.
Yeah.
You're going to have to make 27-point turns to back up or go forward if you need to maneuver. But
and that's if you guys ever catch me or Sherry when we're in a bind, we'll blip the throttle, and that's to make it easier to turn, because when these machines are fully locked, they don't like to move, especially with like Zilla stickies on there. So the next step you'll see is this being backed out of the garage, and we'll go from there. We'll see how it turns. See if, I'd imagine it's going to be harder, but it's going to be harder. It's going to be well worth having a spooled front diff.
Fire in the hole.
All right, Scott. Moment of truth. Okay, so everything's back together. It is now a spooled front diff. How was it? It turned. No?
But I'm not turning real short.
Right.
Now I am.
I mean, you can see that tire.
Tire's dragging.
Yeah, the tire's dragging a little bit. Yeah. I'll jump in with you. Okay. Solid. Oh man, it's all dirty in here.
We can clean it off.
Okay. So this button is no longer, huh?
No, neither of these buttons are going to do anything.
Yeah, it's just a smart lock. This will engage your four-wheel drive, right? Now your four-wheel lock.
What should we do here?
Let's go for a ride.
Which way?
It don't matter. You can go left. See how she turns on the road.
Not real good.
Put it in high. See, take a little bit of speed, see how it feels a little bit faster. Not bad driving.
No, it's not that bad. You can feel that the steering wheel is super tight.
Yeah. Just the tighter turns would be a little bit rough.
Yeah, I mean, that's what happens. If you turn the steering wheel and you let it go,
just right back to
it's
straight.
going to straight.
Yeah.
Which way should I go here?
You go out through there. So, initial thoughts on steering, because that's the four-wheel drive isn't an issue. It's the steering that's an issue now.
Right, because both tires are still locked together, even in two-wheel drive.
Yeah.
So on the pavement, the steering just feels really tight. You just, if you're in a turn, you do not want to let go of the steering wheel because it automatically gets back to straight.
Yeah.
So, like in the dirt or whatever, I'm sure it might do that a little bit. But
well, there you have it. Welded diff success. Welded the right way, the way that, you know, it's a spooled front diff. It's as strong as it could possibly be. The axles will be the weak link now, so we'll keep you informed on how they do. You'll see it firsthand if it's a success or a failure, but I think it'll be fine. I think the axles are pretty strong in this.
I'm actually I'm pleasantly surprised with steering. It's not, I mean, don't get me wrong, it's way different, but it's not horrible.
Good.
I can deal with it.
Good.
You just, like when we had to back up over there, you just have to do a couple more turns. That's all. Yeah, it's fun.
Okay, there you have it. Send me your smart lock, we'll weld it up, send it back. It'll be a spooled front diff. Be as strong as you can possibly get it. It's true four-wheel drive at its finest. So, we're gonna go get something deep. We'll see you later. We don't really have any plans for another ride with it. Probably maybe a ride at Ben Franklin Range, or maybe some drag events coming up. We'll see, but stay tuned. A couple days, you should see another video.